Charles Oliveira is going to have a title fight for the third time, and for now he is not leaving a single chance to become a lightweight belt holder, but with Ilia Topuria, this isn't an easy dream. To make his way easier to hold the belt, Charles Oliveira is preparing extremely hard for this fight. He is sparring elite fighters and training under some of the best coaches in MMA. And these are not just any training partners, they are champions, grapplers, and strikers who are pushing Charles every day. On top of that, Charles's camp is able to focus on every single detail of his training. He is constantly improving his already high-level jiu-jitsu, working fast-paced striking combinations, and still improving his wrestling transitions. Charles is a very big threat now. He is going to be a scarier version in the octagon. His sparring is at a very high pace, with a real grittiness and high technical skill to it. He is not just training hard, he is working smart under coaches who enforce a high bar for excellence, and have competed at the level he is preparing for. He's also been focusing on multiple skills. Charles Oliveira's striking is looking razor sharp ahead of his highly anticipated clash with Ilia Topuria. Known primarily for his elite Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Charles has taken his game to another level when it comes to accuracy, speed, and timing, while striking during training camp. Therefore, Charles is working with elite striking coaches to hone his combinations, improve head movement, and enjoy the ability to counter and strike with accuracy. Charles Oliveira is taking his camp to the next level by training with rising UFC welterweight star Ian Garry. This unexpected yet exciting collaboration is giving both fighters a unique edge. Charles brings his veteran experience and elite jiu-jitsu, while Ian adds his sharp technical striking and movement to the mix. Training with someone like Garry allows Charles to sharpen his stand-up against a younger, fast-paced fighter known for precision and range control skills that will be crucial against Ilia Topuria. These intense sessions are helping Charles refine his timing, angles, and striking creativity, while also testing his reactions under pressure. In the sparring footage and from whispers around camp, it seems Charles is smoothly landing grimy jabs, explosive knees, and heavy leg kicks with effortless movement. Charles is throwing feints, angles, and forward pressure to break down his opponents and mixing everything in beautifully. But Charles's evolution in striking goes beyond just offense. It is complete control, ring IQ, and calculated aggression. Charles Oliveira is turning heads in training as he sharpens his striking ahead of the showdown with Ilia Topuria. Recent footage and insider reports show Charles throwing sharp, accurate shots with impressive speed and power.
Só direto que o ligamento. Mas o cruzado, o ligamento.
Charles' skills have improved since, and he has been more fluid and better composed timing and under pressure in contact sparring scenarios. Charles may not necessarily be throwing random punches, and his shots matter. He has been mixing in stabs and movement afterwards that earnest striker's anticipation tends to neglect, be it stabs, low kicks, timing, creativity, and/or combinations to eat shots. At the end of the day, Charles Oliveira is working on every aspect of his game, knowing full well that Ilia Topuria is a tough, well-rounded, and dangerous opponent. He is preparing physically and mentally, including training, striking, and wrestling with elite coaches, cage control, cardio, and grappling. Charles is leaving no stone unturned and diligently working on his striking combinations until he gets the desired results, tightening up his takedown defense and advancing his grappling transitions even more.
Absolutely incredible stat that is. Of all the thousands of people that fought in the octagon and the amount of submission specialists that we have, Charles Oliveira owns the most submissions, which is an incredible feat, but he's also knocking people out now.
Oliveira lives not only in Brazil, where he's going to stay, he lives in the favelas in Brazil. And those are his people, and even if he rose up, he feeds his community. He is the one that buys books. He is the one that buys medicine. He is the one that buys presents and toys for the children.
There are going to be endless variables of what Topuria brings to the cage in the fight, but he is going to bring relentless pressure, knockout power, and high-level grappling. So Charles has to sharpen his skills, be faster than ever, and be more tactful than ever.
I want to be a champion again, and we're looking at very good timing with the UFC right now. That's the guy that I need to beat to get another shot at the title. That's the guy that I need to go through. We're always good for the organization. Whatever the organization asks for, like the UFC asks, I'm here for it. That's the guy that I need to go through because I want to be a champion. I want the next shot. I'm always looking at the guys at the top. Everybody that's just surrounding there, like, you know that it could happen. It's not that I looked at it as like I'm gonna fight him, but the opportunity could come. The opportunity presented itself, and here's the opportunity. It happened.
Charles Oliveira's preparation for Ilia Topuria is as intense as it gets, covering every discipline from sharp boxing to world-class grappling. Knowing the threat that Ilia presents with his power, pressure, and well-rounded game, Charles is developing himself into a complete fighter who is well prepared to handle anything. Even in the boxing side, Charles is laser focused, moving his head, precision punching, and slick counters. His hand speed is up, as he is adding variety to his combinations, which will add unpredictability and danger to his striking. In a more grappling-focused camp, Du Bronx is going back to his roots and is drilling submissions, sweeps, and scrambles at a relentless pace. He is perfecting his transitions as well as chaining submissions with strikes, knowing he has the tools to dominate if the fight goes to the ground. Well, it will be a different fight for Charles now because he is going with former featherweight champion Ilia Topuria, who has ruled the whole division. Topuria has dominated top contenders with calculated aggression, sharp boxing, and relentless pressure. For Charles, this isn't just another fight, it's a high-stakes battle against a new generation of elite. That's why his preparation has been so complete. Charles knows that to beat Ilia, he'll need to be perfect in every area from striking and timing to ground transitions and mental toughness. Adding on, Charles Oliveira has made it crystal clear he's all in and fully locked in for the challenge against Ilia Topuria. In his recent interview, he didn't just sound confident, he looked like a man on a mission. This isn't just another fight for him, it's a statement. Moreover, he knows exactly who Topuria is. Someone young, undefeated, explosive with the momentum of being the current featherweight champion. But for Charles, Topuria does not intimidate him. He's been in the fire, fought legends, been in vicious wars, and finished top-tiered opponents. He is the most focused he's ever been, equipping every tool and preparing for a fight.
Então, eu tô em busca do título. Eu não corro de ninguém, nunca corri, não vai ser agora que eu vou correr. Eu tô pronto para lutar contra qualquer um desses caras, né? Respeito todos eles, mas vou imprimir meu ritmo, meu jogo. Por que não, né? Se for pelo título, por que não lutar com o Topuria? Eu tô em busca do título, eu não quero fazer mais uma luta para poder esperar o título, não. Para mim isso não me interessa, eu quero lutar pelo título.
Charles Oliveira's mission is clear and ruthless. He must knock out Ilia Topuria as soon as possible. He knows Ilia is a tough and rugged fighter, so Charles is focused on explosive striking to finish the fight quickly. At the same time, he commits to grappling and wrestling to control the fight and make room for that knockout. Furthermore, his training camp is focused on incorporating consistent striking with unyielding forward progression and ground control. By practicing his own takedown attempts and wrestling defense, Charles can dictate how the fight is fought, while determining if the fight stays standing or goes to the ground. Most importantly, Charles wants to set the pace early, avoid fighting long fights, and catch Ilia off guard before the fight even warms up. Ilia Topuria is being strongly committed to capture two-division glory against Charles Oliveira at UFC 317. El Matador had a vicious but short title reign at featherweight. He knocked out Volkanovski, which made him the first fighter to do that to Max Holloway in his one and only title defense. In 2025, Topuria is set to begin a new chapter moving up to lightweight after vacating his title at 145 pounds. The Spaniard will have an immediate opportunity to join the club of two-division championship winners when Topuria meets Charles Oliveira at UFC 317 on June 28th. In terms of betting odds, the former featherweight champion is heavily favored over the lightweight champion. On the one-on-one YouTube channel, UFC commentator Laura Sanko recently evaluated the International Fight Week main event with Din Thomas. After discussing Oliveira's size and stature advantages, Sanko shared her disbelief of how big of an underdog the Brazilian is. In fights such as his wins over Bryce Mitchell and Jai Herbert, the UFC commentator saw plenty of openings that Do Bronx could take advantage of on fight night at T-Mobile Arena. Sanko said, "Should Charles Oliveira actually be favored in this fight? I do think size is going to be a factor in this fight because of the length of Charles Oliveira. Ilia Topuria, I looked, and he is a minus 410 favorite. Charles Oliveira is a plus 320 dog. Listen, I must be crazy. I have so much to say about how I think Charles can get the better of Ilia. Ilia Topuria may be undefeated, but is he truly ready for the chaos that Charles Oliveira brings?" Laura Sanko just dropped a surprising take while she's backing Ilia to win. She's not sold on the odds. In fact, she believes that if Charles gets the same openings Bryce Mitchell had, Ilia could be in big trouble. This fight isn't as one-sided as it seems, and Charles Do Bronx Oliveira is coming with fire in his eyes and a point to prove. He further added, "To be clear, I do favor Ilia in this fight, but those odds to me are wild, absolutely wild. There are moments you can think about while watching Topuria where you're like, you know what, if it was Charles Oliveira doing this to him, like the Bryce Mitchell fight, Bryce takes him down and Bryce got some good shots on him on the feet. I was watching and I was like, you know, if this was Charles Oliveira, I think Topuria would be in some big trouble here. The stage is set for one of the most electrifying matchups in UFC history, Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. An encounter between an undefeated featherweight king and a war-torn former lightweight champion. Speed, power, precision, and absolute madness is all but ensured. But let's not get confused, Charles Oliveira isn't just showing up, he is coming in sharper, stronger, and scarier than ever. His training camp has been war, with endless wrestling drills and hours of fighting elite-level strikers non-stop in the gym. Every practice, every round, every rep was about one thing: finish Ilia Topuria and be crowned king once again. But who do you think walks out with the belt, Oliveira or Topuria? Can Charles Oliveira's experience and pressure break the undefeated Topuria? Drop your predictions in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fight breakdowns, training footage, and all things UFC.